Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to the daily update my 1000 days challenge. This is day 677, so let's get things started. Alright, so first and foremost, in terms of balance update wise, there's no change in terms of equity balance. If you look in terms of the S&P 500 Nasdaq wise, we do see a very nice green bullish candlestick formation yesterday itself. So definitely we do see signs of life. And the fact that we are maintaining a very nice foundation in terms of price above 20 exponential moving average on the daily chart, which previously acted as a very dynamic resistance. So it do gives a very good sign that we could potentially have a very decent rally. Whether or not it's a bear rally, depends on how strong this bear rally just pushes. If we do face resistance at this 200-day exponent, 200-day simple moving average itself, then definitely we could potentially face some sort of resistance. So there's this 200-day exponential moving average and also the 200-period simple moving average, which is a two dynamic resistance. So depending on how strong this push is, will determine how strong we actually do see a potential bear rally or potential reversal in terms of trend. Of course, that's not to say that we cannot retrace further. That's also depending on whether do we actually break out these above these high just as well. So same thing for Nasdaq, no difference in terms of that. And if you look at ASA wise, we look a little bit more flat in terms of the daily price action. But if you look yesterday, it still formed a very nice open near the high of the previous day itself, and then it closed with a new high once again. But bearing in mind that this formation is that we look in terms of a bigger picture, we do see like an ascending wedge triangle, which is actually a bearish ascending wedge, whereby we form a high, a higher high, and an even higher high itself. But price and momentum actually decreases itself. But the good thing is we do see in terms of volume, and we are definitely picking up. But bearing in mind that even with this much of a volume, which is like almost double of here, the price momentum swing is actually very minimum, going to show that there are actually sellers at this level that's actually holding the price down in that sense. And finally, in terms of KMAC, we definitely have a very nice push because we formed a green bullish engulfing candlestick itself right below the resistance, and then today we actually opened with a new high, we get up, and we're actually pushing towards a newer high in that sense. So if we do close in terms of that, which definitely I do think that it could potentially very much likely happen. So in that case, we'll potentially be facing this very key resistance at 34.5 region itself. So let's see how things goes. But otherwise, KMAC definitely does have a stronger bounce simply because of the fact that if you look from the high to the low, we definitely have a much greater retracement compared to ASA from the all-time high. And finally, for Bitcoin itself, even though yesterday we actually did break below it initially when I was doing the video itself, it was very fortunate that towards the end of the day, we were actually strong enough to actually push all the way back up. So instead of a red bearish engulfing candlestick, we actually closed with like a red hammer kind of candlestick pattern. I wouldn't say exactly it's bearish, neither is it bullish. I would say right now very clearly we have range forming itself. But bearing in mind, it still does seem to obey this 20 exponential moving average quite well in a sense. But when we break above it, we tend to stay above it. When we break below it, we tend to stay below it. So let's see how things goes. But definitely today could be a shift in terms of momentum. And what I've written now there is that if we actually do close below the 20 exponential moving average, and if we open lower and break below the low of this today's swing low itself, which is actually at 29.8K itself, we would very much be more likely to break towards the new low to potentially to see the 25K region itself potentially again. So let's be very cautious in terms of that. But we do consolidate even here, we could also be waiting for this 50 simple moving average to touch it, not because and in that essence, we could have a greater reaction be in the upside or the downside in that manner. All right, so other than that, I'm not looking to enter any trend in terms of our daily chart in terms of price action wise, simply because right now things looks to be clearly choppy, and I'll just be staying clear in terms of the market wise based on price action. All right, otherwise, that's more or less about it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop by your comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.